So let's talk about this. I always ask the question, is this cool with you or no? Right? Maybe taking a small page from Drew Garabo, full service, and asking, is it okay or is it not okay? But is it cool or not? Right? Cool or not? I preface this by saying, I don't know. And I preface it by saying, I don't know how I feel about it. And I don't know what the words I want to use are here. It's like, I'm not exactly certain this is the right answer, but I don't know it's not. I'm all of the opinion that people should be inclusive and respectful, empathetic, and kind. And I do understand that as we move through life, as people get older, as generations change and move forward, we change the way we speak. We change the way we talk. We change the way we interact with people. And so over time, words like the R word and the F word and the N word and calling something gay, that goes away, right? We know that. People stop saying it because it's not right to do. We want to be more cognizant of the people around us. So news came down just a couple of days ago. December 4th, Twitch, for whatever reason, decided to remove the blind playthrough tag to encourage more inclusivity. It said from Aurelian, community and creator marketing at Twitch. She says, happy to see Twitch has listened to everyone who shared feedback and removed the blind playthrough tag to encourage more inclusive language for our community. You can still use first playthrough or opt to use it in combination with no spoilers for the same sentiment. Sure, makes sense. This is what I wanted to do, and I was unable to get a hold of him because I wanted to have him come on for the show. The first thought I had in my brain was, what would Sightless say? Because everything in the comments section of this tweet were people who had a disability and said they didn't have a problem with the blind playthrough. Why are you making this an issue? It's not. There were other people that said this is not like the R word, N word, F word, because it's scientific. It's a blind study is the study. It's not the first study. It's a blind study. A blind playthrough is a term. It's not using the term negatively, I don't think. That's what people said. So I posed the question, is this virtue signaling? Is this okay with you? Does this make sense? Is it really being inclusive, or are we doing a smoke and mirror show? We know that Twitch in the past has had an ability to ruffle feathers, both positive and negative, in the things it decides to do, right? Judge says it's ancillary. Yes. If the website can't be navigated easily by blind folks, what is the difference? It's like a manufactured issue that they solved to pat on the back. Maybe, right? Or was there a lot of people that were really upset about this? They say they listened to everyone who shared feedback. How many people shared feedback? We had so many people that had disabilities said that they did not understand why they did this. Adversely, Steven Spohn, the chief operating officer of Able Gamers Charity, said he was proud that this was happening. He took a stance and said he's okay with this. This makes sense. The tweet said in June, great question when being asked about saying blind playthrough is ableist. blind playthrough or going in blind can easily be replaced by saying no spoilers playthrough or undiscovered or first if it is your first. A blind playthrough would be to turn your monitor off, and that's not what most mean. Sure. Completely possible, right? I'd like to talk to somebody that has one-to-one experience in taking a disability and making it an ability. We have somebody like Sightless Combat, a longtime Xbox gamer, Xbox ambassador, literally breathes green, has played these games completely blind and have beaten them. Games like Halo and fighting games and like, I don't Sea of Thieves. I don't know how he does it. Like that to me is insane. I'm one click below legally blind without my glasses on, and I have trouble navigating my bedroom at nighttime. So the fact that he can do that to me is remarkable, because I can't do it, y'all. I'm not able to. I don't know how that's even. I have glasses on and I still am not good at game. I don't know how he does the things he does, right? So is he offended? And I'm not saying he's the only person that matters in this situation. What I'm asking is, are there actually people that gave the feedback and said this is not okay? I don't know. I see the one from Steven Spawn. I see the question being posed by Queen Lucanai. Probably mispronouncing that. It's okay. But is it such a big problem that we have to change the name? Or is it not a big problem and we don't want it to be a big problem, so we change the name? I don't know. I go back in time and we remove the R word because people calling somebody that was in reference to a negative connotation, right? We stop calling things gay because you added a negative connotation to it. That's so gay is negatively connotated. When we say blind playthrough, we don't have a negative association towards that other than to reflect maybe more of a description of the approach, which would be more deemed scientific. So I want to know what you think. Zen Mobius says, there are some sight impaired and indeed blind people who felt it was a negative. From that perspective, I get it. I can understand where people can see it as gatekeeping and virtue signaling. Yes. All of that is what I'm saying here. If there are people, that took offense to it, I want to explore where they're coming from so I can understand better. Maybe I don't know, right? I'm not blind. I say that sometimes when I have my glasses off because I feel like me running into things and like bruising my shins is awful to me, but in perspective to somebody that is fully visionless, I couldn't imagine going through life like that. I get it. I'm privileged to be able to say I can still see if you put glasses on. Other people can't do that, right? I get that. I'm not opposed to it. But are we just changing things to change things? Not saying that's a bad thing, but are we doing that? Or is this really an issue? The replacement tags, first playthrough and no spoilers. Typically, a blind playthrough would be a first playthrough. What else could you mean by that? Judge Castle says, at the end of the day, I don't care what changed it, or that they changed it. I'm not angry at that. What bothered me, it seemed like a very menial thing to change when there are so many more issues for the sight impaired that exist on Twitch. For the sight impaired, for the hearing impaired. God, for the hearing impaired. Like, I'm guilty of that. I got to figure out where the hell I put my closed captioning plugin thing to include for those hard of hearing. For those with epilepsy and seizures, for those, I don't know, there's got to be other reasons, other things to, there's got to be things there, right? There's got to be things that are bigger than maybe. I don't know. Like there's other things, I'm sure. I didn't think this was a disability term, but maybe I'm not empathetic enough to the situation because I don't know. So AMs are turning on closed captioning going forward as much as we can. It's a great idea. I'm on some streams that it's on by default. I would love for the ability for it to... It'd be dope for me if it would not be on, like if it would be just below the video screen. I would also love, like, I don't know, I have visions for how I want my stream to look. And if I could embed it into the chat, that would be dope. Users can move it and turn it off. I'm on Pixie's stream and I have not been able to do that with her plugin. It's just like there and it's like takes up a fourth of my screen. And I don't need it, so I would like to turn it off, but I haven't figured out how to do that. That could just be a me thing. I completely understand that. It could be just a Penguin thing. That's okay. The one we use, you can. Can we link that? I should know better, but I've been so friggin' busy lately that I haven't had a chance to really look into that. Can you link me to whatever the heck it is that they're using in DM so I can figure out what I'm going to add to? Because I want to add that, right? I want to add closed captioning. I give a warning during Radio Igloo that, hey, those with epilepsy may have, this is a seizure warning. It's photoepileptic light show, right? I don't want to upset anybody. I don't. That's not true. I don't want to upset people who don't deserve to be upset, right? Like I'm not trying to go after any particular group of people ever. I'll get mad at the company. I'll get mad at the person. I'm not going to attack groups of people. That's not what I'm here for, right? I'm glad that there are probably some people that were upset and they are no longer upset. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything. But to your point, Judge, are we doing this as a marketing thing to get the low-hanging fruit win? Maybe. Twitch has had a lot of backlash lately. If it was just to save face... Well, no, that's not true, because at the end of the day, I've said this before. I don't care how we get there as long as we get there in a positive way. Maybe this is the positive way.